Setting up, people. I'm gonna have to adjust this glove. It's my other one. Normally my right-handed glove. Left my other one somewhere. Apparently my right hand is a lot. One ring size bigger. Whew. You know what? Let's go ahead and tighten this before I do it. Loosen this before I do anything else. Now the question is, do I loosen the top? Or is it the bottom? Yeah, we ain't touching that one. Alright, let's see where it's catching. Alright, so we're going to... Howdy, Grim. Oh, here, let me... I know you're probably going to, kick everybody out, but I'm going to make you a moderator anyway, Grim. There we go. Alright, so we're going to add one extra row here real quick, just to loosen this one up. Find the right mandrel. Finally got the secondary screen going so that I can see comments and usernames better. So much better. Oh, I don't need a whole lot of rings for this. We'll do 2. Howdy, Robert. So much better. I can see usernames finally. Yeah, I'm just going to call you Queens. It's too long, man. It's too long. Just like I'm Coda. It's so weird because I got the secondary feed going so I can see the comments better, but it's lagging slightly behind, but that's okay. At least I can see the comments finally. Thank you, Republican. All right, Kaylani. I'm probably saying that wrong, but we're going with Kaylani. Y'all really testing out my ability to actually see usernames for the first time. Howdy, Zia. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it. You got all this time on your hands to create a username. Sheer luck, probably. Sheer luck. Hey, Grim, you gonna exercise your moderator powers there, buddy? I've given you a superpower. My regular moderator is not on today. I actually haven't seen her in a couple days. She's around somewhere. All right, 74 already. It's a good starting number. 83. Yeah, I should have set up the second monitor a long time ago. And I don't have to hug the microphone as much now. Howdy, hamster. Thank you, Clayton. Have a good one. Ironically, I work in Clayton. But yeah, I've known Grim for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I can say right now he is not going to be a good moderator. Alright, so before we can add a new row, we got to disconnect the old one. Grab my little ring. I could just clip these, but then that's twice as many I have to add back in. We are fixing my glove. This is my right-handed glove, which apparently is a little bit tighter than my left-handed glove. But it's a little too tight. So we're going to add one extra row of rings here to the thumb area, and then we're going to remeasure. That's the thing about these chainmail gloves. They have to be perfectly sized, which is why I can't just go selling them. So we're going to take that whole row out. If I get really pissed off, I'll just cut them. Yeah, screw it. It's only like 9 extra rings. The time saving is worth it. Oh, the humanity. Doing some adjustment work on my little glove here. It's about 1 ring set too tight, so we're adding a row in there. Of course, I just cut that row, so now I'll need to replace that row. But that's faster than taking each of these rings out. Clean it off my magnet. All right, now we get to add them back in. Probably should have counted, but that's okay. Just a pretty clear-cut repair. 465. All right, now we're filling up. Very small ring, so I know this is very hard to see what the hell I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to pronounce that name. I may need to cut 1 or 2 more paper clips because I cut that other ring instead of taking them out, but I saved a lot of time doing that. My favorite gloves. I've had these for 10 years. I can't just let them go. I got to keep up with them. Thankfully, they don't take a lot of repair work. Fabulous counted. Hello, Zenith. I'm sorry, Zener. It's so nice being able to see usernames for the first time. Bad cut. Now if I could just find a way to do away with all these power cables, be okay. And I gotta add an Alexa in here so we can get some music. Hopefully music that won't get my live taken down. Alright, last set for this row, and we only got one more row to go, and we should be good to go. At least for this area. Oh, and of course it's inside out. Ooh, look at that inside, all nice and oxidized. It's a nice shade of gray. Edge pieces and bottom rings always want to act weird. Once you get those taken care of, you're good to go. Yeah, we're going to turn this inside out. Much better. Not really. It's just sort of an angle you got to hit it at. It's easier different ways. Don't be stubborn with me. I think that's probably why I attached it at that point in the first place. Save myself this headache. Alright, we'll do it the hard way. The hell? Something weird going on there. Correct. Correct. Not falling correctly. Okay. See the problem? I put this ring in wrong. There is a right way and wrong way to put the rings in. If you do it the wrong way, it doesn't look right. Oh yeah, I gotta add another row. Okay. Thought I was ready for another row, but apparently not. So yeah, definitely gonna have to make about 2 more paper clips worth of rings. Now watch, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna find it's too loose. Therein lies the problem with chainmail. Much better. It's a very quiet room. Everyone must be enthralled. that on for a second, just make sure. Oh yeah, that's good. A deer. More rings. It cannot protect against depression, but a good hobby can. So maybe that's what we were intending to do tonight. Well, do some more work on it, but my latest armor chainmail test was cherries versus axe, and TikTok decided it was too violent, so they took the video down. I'm assuming because I used the cherries, so it looks a little like blood. But the chainmail survived, so I nailed the hell out of this with an axe yesterday, and it is fine. Sorry, George, I do not. A lot of folks in the live stream. Not unless you're like the guy who was talking about Jesus. In that case, I'd probably remember you. Not in a good way. Well, we're making a chainmail shirt, but right this second, I noticed my glove was a little off, so we're repairing the glove. Well, not really repairing it. We're adding 2 rows of rings to expand it a little bit. I first made this glove about 10 years ago, so not surprisingly, my hands have changed sizes over the years. It's a little tight now. Once we get the glove fixed, then we'll go back to the shirt. No, actually. I got that one's healed. That one went in about that far on a live. And that one's healed. And that one's healed. No stabbings. Hopefully you haven't just jinxed me. The foot that got the paperclip through it has healed. You gotta be willing to draw a little blood to do your hobbies. Apparently my comments aren't catching up. There we go. Thank you, Pranker's Line. 98. $500 in the live. That's not bad for a Monday or a Tuesday. I work too many hours. I don't even know what day of the week it is, apparently. It's not butted. It's not riveted. A friend of mine, the Ring Wraith, who's on here on TikTok, he's a traditional mailer. He's supposed to be sending me a sample piece of his medieval style chainmail to compare and test out. Told him I'd send some paperclip mail back. I have a feeling it won't compete. So I'll say this. It's not as strong as riveted or whatever chainmail, but the fact that it's made of paperclips is extremely strong. Probably more rings than I need, but that's okay. I can never have too many rings. One of these days I need to just sit here and just make rings all day. You can see the different levels of oxidization in the mail. That's why the brand new ones are very shiny, and the older ones get that dull gray look to them. Eventually they all turn the same color, though. Tell you, it's like my 2 comment channels are not keeping up with each other. So I got the one screen to monitor it so I can actually read usernames better. Then I got the phone recording, but it looks like they're on different speeds. Let me refresh. I gotta keep the other monitor because on the phone, the usernames are really, really grayed out. So unless I like block the camera, I can't read usernames. I can see pictures very well, but not the names. They like to make the names opaque for some reason because that's helpful. Alright, looks like it caught back up. Howdy, OKK. A long time. So each of these gloves, when I first made them, took about 40 hours a piece. That's a piece, so 80 hours total. These are tough, though. This is the weave that I stabbed in that one video, and it didn't break. Now, the pitchfork still killed it, but the knife didn't. The smaller the rings, the stronger it is. Howdy, dyslexic. Not going too bad at all. There we go. Yeah, that final connecting set is always a pain. Not that many to do, though. I was a wire artist about 15 years ago. Traditional wire artist. And then I got bored at work one night. I didn't have any of my wire art stuff, but I did have a box of paper clips. So I decided to see what I could do with paper clips instead of a spool of wire. And I never looked back. Boredom for the win. And then about 5 years after I started making things out of paper clips, I picked up the chainmail. Did you lose me, David? They might have machines that make it. I don't know. It would certainly make things faster, but I wear mine on a daily basis. Got to be ready to fight them knives off. No, not really, but I do wear it. I think I left the other glove at work. They're rather comfortable. And they pass the balloon test. They will not pop a balloon. Very soft, despite the fact that they're metal. Steel, to be specific. Just a couple more rings and we are done here. And we're picking up where we left off on the shirt. I'm expanding my glove real quick, and then we're going back to my shirt again. The ring is a jump ring opener, it's called. I'll show you here in 1 second on the next ring. Very specific task that helps out a lot. Not everybody who does mail uses them, but I think it speeds the process up. Alright, so the jump ring opener. I wouldn't date anyone for a TikTok video. Alright, so you shove it in there. Find the one that's closest matches your wire gauge. And twist. And it basically lets you have a second set of pliers without having to grab the second set of pliers. It does hurt your finger after a while, though. And it's not great when you get into tight spaces like this. But for $5, it'll definitely save you some time. Last ring. Wrong, one more ring. Looks like we're maintaining that 500 number. All right. No. Shit. I missed the connection on this one. Yeah, see, I can't get into them tight spaces very well. You can get in, but not very well. How'd mine go? There goes the chat interface. Failing again. Refresh for the second time. I'm on TikTok. But yes, everything you see in front of you is paper clips. Well, not the pliers, obviously. Or the table. I'll make that disclaimer. Okay. Howdy, Mr. Bill. It actually might be a little loose, which was what I was afraid of, but that's okay. We're keeping it. I'd rather have it one set of rings too loose than one too tight. And you do the chainmail shimmy. People end up doing that. Doesn't matter if it's a shirt, whatever. Fixing my glove real quick, and then we're going back to the shirt, the never-ending shirt. All right, we're good. I don't like that little ring right there, but I'm going to leave it in. See how it's going out and then back in? That should be a smooth. I should probably take that off, but I'm not. I'm going to try to not let that bother me, but it will. It'll bother me. But I'm going to leave it. All right, the reason we came here today. First, let me put these away because rings are a commodity. I know I got one of my containers with it already in there. Or at least I did. Go. Thank you, John. We just actually finished repairing it. Thank you, Nylon. And anybody else who the chat hasn't caught back up yet, too. Well, we just finished adding an extra row to the gloves to make them a little bit more comfortable. I'm a little concerned now that they're a little bit too loose, but that's okay. Now we're going to go back to the shirt. The big project that seemingly will never end. Not the gold. That gold is painful. One rope. Two ropes. Need one more rope of 32, and then I got to attach all those ropes together, and then I can fill that void. I don't know, it proved to be knife-proof, or at least resistant. Damn magnet. So there's about 5 rings per clip, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Gonna need to do some more. 25, 30, 35. I don't go live every single day. I try to, but unfortunately I often work doubles at work, and other things get in the way. But at least 4 or 5 days a week. glove is a little too loose. It's gonna drive me nuts. I shouldn't have done that. See, the problem is, because of the way the pattern works, you can't add one row. You have to add 2 rows. So we increased it by that much. And we went from being too tight to too loose. And that's why I can't sell these things online to anybody, because getting that perfect exact measurement to a random person, pretty impossible. Still stays on, but it's got a little bit of a flap now, which is bugging me. Mandrel. That should be the right one. Elastic band would defeat the rules. You know, the self-imposed rules that I put on myself when I started this years ago. No adhesives, no welding, no glue, nothing. No paint. I can use colored paper clips, but I can't add anything to the paper clips. So if somebody else paints them, I can use them. What I really need is some of those rubber jump rings I've seen, but again, that would break the rules. We are working on the chainmail shirt made out of paper clips. Uh-oh, we dropped down to 491 viewers. 483, we're lagging. Still fine. $453. Thank you, Potter. Thank you, person whose name I can't pronounce. That's spelled BHOSXZ. Oh, Lordy. Thank you, Rich Boy. Howdy, Harry Potter. It's so weird watching the follower feed on the laptop. When you're watching on here, you get the little so-and-so joined, so-and-so joined, so-and-so joined, so-and-so joined. When you see it on a laptop, it's just going. So many people every second come in, go out. Typically, if I go live, you'll have 500-600 viewers, but then you'll see your live results, and you'll see that you had like 60,000 people popped in for like less than a second. I think 1,200 at one time is my record so far. Somewhere around there. She used to make chainmail, or she used to make paper clips into things. Solid 500 again. All right, thank y'all. For those of you just joining, we are working on a chainmail shirt, and we are making all the chainmail out of paper clips, because that's what we do here. Last set here, and then we can cut the rings and get to work. I didn't go anywhere. Glad I'm back. What you mean back? I don't think I've missed a day posting in a year. Might have missed a day going live, but not posting something. All right, so we need 32 rings. We're going to go ahead and cut all these. That should get us 35. last one's going to be a little bit wonky. Oh, never mind. Came out all right. Sometimes that end piece, you get that little tiny section of straight, and you don't get a good ring on that last one. Hello, Tenma. My comment section does appear to be lagging. I get them on the one feed before I get it on the other, significantly faster. Except when I get it on faster, I can't read usernames. Catch 22. Howdy, just saying. Howdy, beta. That's right, we're shortening. We're shortening usernames. What I'm really waiting for is a day on TikTok where you can go look for Paperclip, and I'm the top result. I am on mine, but I don't know if that's everybody. Like, I need a random person who has never looked at my videos before to but then how would they know to test? Need 32. So the jump rings on the hand are the same pattern as the big ones. We're going to be making the sleeves out of the same ones, and the sleeves are going to connect to the gloves, so these really won't be gloves for very much longer. They're going to be sleeves on the shirt. But these are these I do not have an actual measurement on, and I'm going to tell you why. So I found this mandrel, which works very well for the gloves. It gives me pretty much the exact ring size. But when I started this, let me see here. I literally just had it. There, it's actually in the box. Majority of the rings were made with a nail. So I have no idea what the exact millimeter of this is, but it's pretty small. I did do a knife. I do not sell anything, actually. I give everything away. Just a hobby for me. Typically the way it works is somebody gives me an idea for something I haven't done before, because obviously this takes a very long time, so I don't like doing the same thing more than once. And if I like the idea, I do it, and then I give it to them. See, you looked it up, but the problem is that you watched the videos or the lives, so it might be throwing that out there. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get stuff from your people you follow and things you've liked. So I need like a random person who's never met me before, never seen one of my videos to look at. It's the only way to know for certain. I mean, it should be. The tag's got like, I don't know, 7, 8 million views now. 30-something thousand followers. You should be getting up there. Gotta take over the Paperclip tags. Paperclip army must rise. It's weird. I had to start a secondary account just to get the second screen set up. You can't watch your own feed if you're signed in as yourself, which is weird. We're dropping into the 300s again. That's okay, though. 300s is still respectable. So, I'll tell you like I tell everybody, chainmail is not hard. It just takes patience. You can learn. I learned how to make this in a day. I learned how to make chainmail in a day. It's just a matter of actually having the calm nature to do it. If you can knit, or you sew, or you crochet, or you do any of that stuff, you should be able to do chainmail. But yeah, I mean, I've had so many people tell me, "All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it," and then they get about an hour's into it and they want to kill themselves. It is not for everyone. And my particular method with my paperclips is slower than most. Now, the actual putting the rings together process, I'm at least as fast as most. But making the rings takes a lot longer for me. A lot faster putting them together now than I used to be. Back in the 400s. All right. Thank you, Quincy. Just tell you how many likes there people are sending to the host. Not just so-and-so sent likes to the host. Because you got some people who send like 10 likes, and you got other people who send like 400. Byzantine is my favorite as well. Somebody who knows his mail. So my, currently being used as a holder for my stand, my belt is completely Byzantine. For those of you who don't know, this is Byzantine. Yeah, I've considered selling it, but I'm not a very good salesman. I got the following to sell it. Hey, Karen's arrived. My moderator. Could have used you earlier, Karen. I made a secondary moderator, and he was horrible. I had to fire him. We are making a chainmail shirt, and the chainmail is all made out of paper clips. That's no worries. You know, I don't schedule these things. I used to schedule them, put the little timers on the videos, show when I was going on live, and that just really never helped drum up any views. So, and then you're stuck to that schedule, and you're like, oh no, I have to run up into the office and get on right this second. I probably know about 10, but there is probably hundreds. A lot of the patterns are versions of themselves. I'll show you box chain and Byzantine as an example. Just a second. I hate box chain, which is weird because I love Byzantine. But for example, okay, so we got, there's 4-in-1, which this is, and there's 6-in-1, which I do not currently have a piece of, and then there is 8-in-2. Now, 8-in-2 is the exact same thing as 4-in-1. It's just instead of one ring here and one ring here, it's 2 rings here and 2 rings there. Now, you'd think that would make it just look the exact same, but it doesn't. This is 8-in-2, and it does look a lot cooler. Not just because of the 2 tones, just because it's just so much fuller. But that's what 8-in-2 is. But it's not really a different pattern. Then I got Mobius here. This one all comes down to ring size. I picked the wrong ring size for this, so it looks horrible. But it's actually a little bit tricky. I don't know what else I got in this box. Oh, this was a crappy piece of elf. No, it's not elf weave. Elf weave or dragon back. I'm not sure which this is, but whatever it is, I gave up on it. So I'm thinking it's elf weave because I hate elf weave. Garbage. See, I know orc weave. I don't like orc weave. But we're gonna do a quick training after I try not to bring my camera down. Come on. Put my weights back on. Horrible tripod, I swear. All right, let me finish this rope real quick so I don't lose count of my ropes. Yeah, Grim is the one who I reviewed his fish. I've known Grim for a very, 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 very long time. I tried to get him to name his daughter Codetta after me, but he just wouldn't do it. He's very stubborn. Yeah, Grim, you are a moderator. You're just not very quick on the uptake, which is what I was asking you to do earlier. Inappropriate comments were in the chat, and you were just sitting there. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate the gifts. pick up my scraps here. All right, what we're going to do is quick training, and then we're going to connect all 4 of these ropes together. And this is why it's hard to determine how many patterns you know. So many of them are so similar. We don't need a whole lot. We're going to do Byzantine and we're going to do box weave all in one. Very simple version of box. But we're going to do box first, actually. So what was your final calculation there, Clarissa? Or Clarence? Clarence? Clarenceado? I know I calculated a while back, but I've added a whole lot more to it since then. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I meant by a lot of these patterns are very similar. So box, we're going to take 2. We're going to put 2 on those 2. So we got 2 and we got 2. Then I should put 1 extra set. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. So 2, 2, 2. Really, this isn't necessary. It just makes it easier for me to hold. I don't know, 11,000 seems kind of high. I think I might have written some wrong numbers down or something. Okay, so 2, 2, 2. This is box. So all you do, flip down, like so, and hold it there. Grab yourself another ring. Pull it through like that, and that is the exact same way you're going to start Byzantine, which drives me nuts. Okay, now we got 2 there. And we're going to add another 2. And we're going to flip these 2 around again, just like we did the last time. But it's literally, if you can do one, you can do them both. It's like 4 and 1 and 8, 2, 6 and 1. They're all the same. But there is a lot of patterns I do not know. I just learned, or I just started learning Barusa? I don't know. But yeah, box and Byzantine are almost the exact same thing. The only difference is a expansion ring between the 2 little orbs here, which I'm now turned into a mess. Shower rings! Just because the rings are bigger does not make them easier to control. Out of the way. We are not remaking the paperclip shape. We're turning paperclips into other things. It's kind of my whole thing. That would be someone calling for the dog. Okay, I'm going to put a rope out. Now, I really wish I hadn't chosen this pattern for the shirt, but I really didn't want to do this project. Everybody just telling me to, so now I'm kind of stuck with it because I don't want to start over. So we got 4 ropes to connect, and then we got to connect those ropes into this square, and then that square is finished. And we should have a much easier time counting after that. We need more rings. Apparently dinner's ready, but I'm going to finish this first. It's a straightened paperclip. Take your straightened paper clips, take your metal rod. You can get metal rods literally anywhere. I've looked at Sweet Pea. I do not know the other one. I used to do Dragon Back all the time, but somewhere along the way I stopped doing it, and now I don't know if I remember how to do it. It's probably one of those things where if I start a little tiny piece, I'll be able to pick it back up, but I haven't done it in a while. Nah, not the wife. That would be my sister, who is staying here until middle of September and then heading back to Vegas. Let me screen grab that. I will look up that pattern later. Usually if I just look at a picture of a completed piece of a pattern, I can copy it. I might not do it the way it's supposed to be done, but I can usually copy it. There are some exceptions. I tried making one of the chainmail jelly cubes a while back, and that failed miserably. I still don't know what the hell I did wrong. Damn magnet. The magnet definitely helped clean up my workstation, but it does cause issues. You don't get bored if you're doing something you like. And I do go much faster when I'm not on the live, but I'm filming the whole process here. I would like to get my Alexa in here, though, so I can get some music. And hopefully not get kicked off the live for using music I'm not allowed to use. Even though I hear other people use music all the time and not get kicked off. But it happened to me once. Back when I was a little tiny account, which was really bull. But TikTok's been picking on me lately, so trying not to piss them off anymore. Had a second video pulled down yesterday. I literally I took an axe to the chainmail glove, and I put cherries in the glove to demonstrate whether or not it would work. And apparently they deemed it too violent. I think if I had done something other than cherries, it might have gotten past. But because the cherries were red, it looked like blood and guts oozing through the links of the chainmail. Oh, lordy. But that's two community violations I've gotten here recently, so I need to tone it back for a little while so that they don't ban my account, since they seem to be doing that to a lot of people these days. YouTube has no problem letting me post. I'm just not a big fan of YouTube as a platform, though. I keep meaning to get on Instagram, but TikTok's for me. So yeah, it looks like my chat is falling behind again. Let me refresh it on here. So it is posting my chat, but I'm getting a lot faster on the phone screen than I am the laptop screen. They'll be on par for a little while, and then it'll slowly lag behind. Which would be fine if I could see usernames on the phone screen, but I can't. Well, that was like when I Nick Sheet. Never even heard of Nick. I've heard of she and her. Don't know what Nick is, but yeah, then when I tried getting on the Creator Fund back when I hit 10,000 a while back, I kept running into an error, and it took me like a month and a half to get TikTok support to fix the issue. They have not been friendly to me lately. But the people have been. Love y'all. It is extremely time-consuming. Now, this little pattern that I got in my hand here, same as the gloves, bigger rings. These size rings I made a gold Thanos gauntlet on lives a while back. That took about 5.5 hours with the lives. Just for the glove. I must have missed it. I didn't even see what Jameson Moore did. That's when my comments were lagging. But we are making a chainmail shirt, and all the chainmail is made out of paper clips. I'd really like to get this done so I can start on the sleeves, because I want to get the sleeves going. And the hood. I'm very interested to start a hood. And that's going to be a third pattern. So it's going to look a little weird with 3 patterns in it, but I think I'll pull it off. And the cool thing about a shirt is down the line, if I want to turn it into a trench coat, I can do that. And I only say that because I have a trench coat collection. Care less about shoes, but I love my coats. And my suits. I got into this because of boredom. Plain and simple. I was a wire artist for years, and then I was doing a boring job in the middle of the night, and I didn't have my wire tools with me, but I did have a box of paper clips. Alright, now we're going to connect rope 3 with rope 4, and then we're going to connect both of those together, then we're going to connect into our square. And our square here will be done. I'm still going to have to lengthen this whole thing though. So the end piece over here is what the actual length needs to be. This is still going to be a long way from being done. Human. Need more paper clips. Thankfully, I have a few thousand on hand. This is from medieval times. See if I can magnetize this little piece without pulling the whole thing. Nope. Having too much fun with this magnet. Works very good as a stud finder too. I just got them from Home Depot over the weekend for about $2. Sometimes you just need a power magnet. And then at some point I still need to go back and finish Loki's crown because I left off there. And there's still a whole lot of work to do on Loki's crown. But I go where the demand is. I'd be much further than halfway if I was just doing this pattern the whole way through. I'd honestly be on the verge of finishing if I was just doing this pattern. But I decided, stupidly, that I want to switch for the shoulders to this very tight weave, which is the same thing, just smaller rings. And I want to connect it all the way to the gloves, so it'll be one solid piece all the way to the gloves. And these little tiny rings are going to take a lot longer. Very slow with little tiny rings. So, no. Yeah, see, I don't want to get to the point where I have orders. I don't want to have to do stuff on commission or other people's time. So I'm going to make stuff if I just can get this thing going. And if it's made, people can buy it. Otherwise, I'll adjust, but not from scratch. Definitely don't want to get in a position where I got like 40 orders. And each one takes 3 hours. I already have one of my moderators active there. Gaming Void. The one moderator who actually moderates. Unlike Grim, if you're still in here, you're fired. I'll see you on Xbox. Man wouldn't even name his daughter after me, I tell you, man. The nerve of some people. You know them your whole life, and then they won't even name their kid after you. Oh, Lordy. I don't care. She always going to be Codetta to me. Gonna stick around for a little while. We'll see what you got. But No. Kept saying, you know, Grim, man, come on. You got to name her Codetta. He's like, nah, man, I got to do Maya. Maya, come on, man. Codetta's a much cooler name than Maya. I am making a chainmail shirt, and all the chainmail is made out of paper clips. We got a moderator job. The hell? The hell did I do? Okay, I don't know what I did for this connection, but we're going to take it off. That is not falling right. Reconnect. Sometimes you just got to take it out the ring and start over. Yeah, this stuff is pretty tight. I mean, it's the same basic principle. You just need to get yourself a nice pair of needle nose pliers. And a nice pair of cutters that's not going to deform the rings. That's the biggest problem. When I first started doing this, trying to get these little tiny rings years ago, it was a nightmare. Because every time I would cut them, I'd end up like warping the ring. Until I found the carpenter's pincers, or carpenter's pliers, or end snippers. I got 100 names. No, we haven't done that test tonight, so we will do that test real quick. All right, here's the glove. Here's a balloon that I just keep on hand just for this test. Here's the chainmail on the balloon. Here's the chainmail rubbing the balloon. Not a scratch, not a pop. Now this stuff, yeah, it's going to get a little, you can get some edges here and there, but this small nail rings are very smooth. Very smooth. It's like fabric. Heavy fabric, but fabric. Yeah, I got my belt. I got my gloves. Don't have the socks. Some guy keeps asking me to make socks. I don't think that would work very well. I mean, I could do it. I just don't think I want to walk around in metal socks all day. Been thinking about doing a tie. Another bad ring. All right, let's see if I can make this make sense to y'all. All right, so if you look at the bottom, you can see how each one is above the one next to it. So this one is above this one, this one's above this one, this one's above this one. And they're all pointing that way. So this one on top, on top, on top. And then you get here. Suddenly this one is pointing that way. That means that that's a bad ring. Bad connection. It happens. You just got to be able to fix it. Nobody's perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up so that this little piece I just took off matches the angles on this one. And then we'll reattach at that angle, which is easier to do laying down. So we're going to put it on the ground here. This whole project is going to cost me probably under 20 bucks. Yeah, let's say under 50 bucks. 20 bucks might be a little cheap. So these are now going this way, but that one's still going that way, so that's wrong. So I'm going to flip it. Now the pattern matches. This is chainmail made out of paper clips. Put our ring right back in. And put it right back where it was. Now it all lines up. Problem solved. I would really like to try out the rubber chainmail rings. That's kind of a newish thing that I haven't seen until the last couple of years. But it would violate my rules, so... oh, Lordy. So I'm torn. So you gotta ask yourself, the moment you start breaking those rules, at what point are you no longer making things out of paper clips because you're just adding all kinds of other shit into it? And see, I'm a gamer. I like my survival games. I should love Minecraft, and I'm old enough that I started on the Atari, but for the life of me, I cannot get past the graphics. I just can't do it. I'm spoiled. Now, Green Hell, Astroneer, Breath Edge, Stranded Deep, Long Dark. Love those. Well, you can. Apparently a glob is kind of what the jelly cube is that I failed to make a while back. Dog, get out of the metal garbage. Somebody told me I should save my clippings. I said, for what? And he said, well, you can sell those clippings. I said, for how much? He said, 30 cents a pound. You know how long it take me to get a pound of clippings from paper clips? It's like 10 years supply for 30 cents. This is called a jump ring opener or a jump ring closer. It goes by both names. So you take your ring, grab it in your pliers on one hand, stick it in the slot that closest matches the gauge wire you're using, and then you give it a twist. And when I'm not using a bad ring, had a metal spur on there. So you give it a twist, and then you can open or close, or open or close. Open or close with one hand while you're still holding your spot on the other. There are downsides to it. Takes some getting used to, like everything. It will hurt your finger after a while because every time you twist it, you're twisting the ring on your finger. And it can't get into tight spaces, but it still saves a lot of time. Owen Wilson. And I've been called Kermit and a lot of other things, but never Owen Wilson. Yeah, if you get a good one, they last for quite a while. I've had this one for about 10 years. I've got a new one that I can't bring myself to use sitting in a box. Okay, last ring on this one. Now we got that piece, and we got that piece, and we're going to line it back up. So these are going this direction. These are going this direction as well. So we're good to go, and we're going to connect these. And my dog is having a crazy fit. You just went for a walk, buddy. I heard her take you. Only problem I see with the chainmail skirt, even if you made a weave tight enough that you couldn't see through it very well, if you snagged it on something, that could be bad. I will be wearing a shirt under my shirt. Mine's not really even going to be a shirt. It's more going to be like a hoodie. Provided I can figure out how to make the helm weave stiff enough to work as a hood, because I don't want it to just flop around on my head. But I'm in talks with the historically accurate chainmailer to try to figure that out. If anybody will know, it's the expert. Alright, so scale mail. I dabbled in scale mail for a little while. It does look cool. But scale mail, if you can do this, you can do scale mail. All scale mail is 4-in-1, just like this. Well, it doesn't have to be 4-in-1, but it's just you take the scales and you connect it through the circles. I mean, that's all there is to it. If you can do this, you can do scale mail. I know it's 168 rows down, and I know it is 62 rows wide. That's the only count that I'm sure of. But it is too big to get in one screen right now. And my paper clips on there. We are making a chainmail shirt, and all the chainmail is made out of paper clips. And my camera's going down. Helm I learned a long time ago, and I modify. So this is a very heavily modified helm's weave that I was experimenting on to try to make something stiff to work for the hood, so it would not flop on the top of my head when I make the hood. Helm's weave looks pretty complicated, but it's not. And you can modify the hell out of it. So this at this point is not helm's weave. I don't know. I'm gonna need a new name for this because it is definitely not helm's weave anymore. But it's got a helm's weave base. It started as helm's weave. More rings. Yeah, I've got necklaces and I've got rings and bracelets and all kinds of stuff. One thing I am not good at doing with paper clips is the self-made clasp. I've tried a few times. It never comes out well. I can do a permanent clasp, but not one that you can reopen. See, unfortunately, I can't teach the helm's weave with the shower rings because their helm's weave is 2 different size rings. So unless I can find me some shower rings that are a lot smaller than this or something comparable, so I gotta find a ring that's basically like that if I'm gonna teach with these. I can show you with these, but very hard to see on rings, on little tiny rings like this. I do not sell this stuff, I give it away. I would like to sell this stuff, I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm going to finish connecting this piece. Then we're going to do a quick helm's weave tutorial, and we'll see if I can make this make sense with these little rings here. And then I'm going to go eat. Dirty rice. Well, like I said, I love my Byzantine. That's my favorite weave. That's what my belt and everything else are made out of. And I just noticed a bad spot. There we go. No, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, that's all this is. This is Byzantine. It's just 4 strands of Byzantine, and you connect them at the loop points. But that's my belt. Byzantine's got a lot of uses, especially for bracelets and necklaces. I know I said that an hour ago. I'm not going to connect it to the whole thing. I will connect this. That's only a few more rings. Dirty rice. It ain't going nowhere. I mean, I really can't tell you how long it takes. The glove took 40 hours, and there is a pair. My best guess estimate on this thing is at least 100, 150. So far, we're only about 20 hours in, but I scavenged a lot of this from an old project, so I didn't have to start from scratch. So I can't give you an accurate record on how far we are. Okay. There should be enough rings here. Yes, patience is the #1 skill required to do chainmail. Or knit, or crochet, or sew. I was in the fabric store the other day. I almost picked up a fresh needle and thread. I was kind of in the mood to stitch a patch. I haven't stitched a patch in a while. I think the last patch I stitched was my Grim Reaper for Grim, who was in here earlier. I do not get paid for this. And since I buy my materials, I lose money on this hobby. But you gotta enjoy your hobbies. I will continue to use video games as an example. Majority of you who play video games do not get paid for playing video games. And if you're playing a game such as Minecraft, for example, which keeps getting brought up, then I'm assuming you're creating stuff in Minecraft. But you're still not getting paid for it, unless you're a Twitch streamer. But you still do it. Did I finish my huge chainmail dragon? No, Bob is not finished. He is still a quadriplegic. His legs have still been chopped off. Bob is the project that was never supposed to get finished. He is the fallback project. Bob was always drawing a blank on the word here. Intended, that's not the word, but I'm using it. Bob was always intended to be a never-ending project. So he's kind of like a fallback project, so when I don't have anything else to work at, that's when I work on Bob the Dragon. But he's so big, even if I worked on him nonstop, it's going to be at least a year or two. Bob is just so massive. And his wings, oh my god, I really want to see the wings, but the amount of chainmail that's going to be required for the dragon wings is going to be ridiculous. Okay. 4 rows of 32, all connected. Those rows will connect perfectly inside this little square here. You know it doesn't look like it, but there's going to be an extra row of rings right through there. And then that will be level. And then I need to make however many rows that is to clear the distance. Okay, Stan, I tell you, man, this thing's so horrible. All right, quick Helms weave. Scoot this out of the way. Pick up our scraps. We're not going to need a whole lot of rings for a tutorial. Let's do 1 set of rings with the nail, and we're going to do the other set of rings just like this. Yeah, just 5 more. Doesn't take a whole lot. Helms weave is actually very easy. My glove does not cut me. In fact, we did a balloon test earlier with me rubbing on a balloon. Did not pop the balloon. Now, I can get stabbed with these, though. I've done that plenty of lives. Alright, so the trick to Helms weave is you're going to need 2 different sets of rings. It can be difficult to find 2 different sets that work. But the smaller set's going to be significantly smaller than the big set. So, small rings. We're going to wrap around a nail. Everybody asks if it smells. It smells like paper clips. I don't know. Go smell a box of paper clips. Oh, Lordy. Oh, seriously. I've gotten does the paper clip smell so many times. Okay, so we're wrapping this around a nail. Nothing too fancy. And again, doesn't have to be paper clips. You can use whatever wire you want to use. As long as it's not aluminum. Don't use aluminum. Aluminum is garbage pieces of wire. Some kind of wire. Okay, little tiny rings. So step 1, little tiny rings. Okay, let's get a couple more big rings. Man, I've been scared for the future for a long time. Oh, I just realized I finally have a clock in here since I have my second screen. It's a first. Alright, so I got some big rings and I got some little rings. So, Helm's weave, here we go. We're going to take a big ring. Or close it. And that's a little deformed ring, but I don't care because I'm not actually keeping this. This is just training. So we're going to close it. I'm going to take a little ring. We're going to put the big ring on there. We're going to grab a second big ring. We're going to put that one on there too. That's all we've done. Just go big, little, bigger, big. Just for stability's sake, we're going to grab a second little one. We're going to put it through those big ones too. Alright, so now we've got big, two little, and big. Okay. We're going to do that one more time. So we're going to take two of these. Put it on there. Put that on there. I should have closed that, but oh well. Helm's weave is not as difficult as you might think. These rings are probably a little bit too big, but that's okay. Oops, I just put one too many rings on there. And yes, I am missing some comments right now because I'm staring at my hands here. Okay, so this is what you want to get. You've got a big ring, you've got two little rings, you got a big ring, you got two little rings, and you got a big ring. That's not too complicated. Very easy, okay? Next step. You're going to take another big ring, and this is where it gets a little trickier. Before you do anything with that, get another one. Open it up like so. So you got a closed one, you got an open one. Thank you, Justin. So what you're going to do is, you're going to stretch this out like so. You're going to take your closed one, and you're going to put it over. I'm not actually attaching it to anything. It's just over. I'm going to take this one, put it through the little rings. Then I'll put through the little rings on that side. So what just happened here, and see, I told you this would be hard to teach you with the little rings, but I can't do it with the shower rings, is this one isn't attached to anything. It's just kind of hovering in the middle there. It's just trapped. It's just trapped. We're going to take another big one. Put it through, and then we're going to that locks it in place. Okay. Take another one. And I'm going to go through this one to get it around that little one. Lock it in place. And last ring. And that is Helm's weave. Very hard to teach on little tiny rings.